Title: Ashes of a Lost Love. The sound of the telephone interrupted the calm of the room. Sofia looked at the screen without haste, knowing what she would see: a message from Gabriel. The two had been inseparables for years, until something changed, something that neither she nor he could understand. And so, they drifted apart, until Gabriel, in his silence, became a distant echo in Sophie's life. I'm in the city, the message said. Would you like to see each other? Sofia stood still for a moment, looking at the words that, despite the time, still had an impact on her heart. Gabriel, the love of her life. The man with whom she had dreamed of a future together. The wounds of the past still hurt, but she also missed him, and the fear of the unknown made her hesitate. After all, he had been the one who had left her without any explanation, without closure, only a goodbye that vanished like fog. He took a deep breath and, with trembling hands, wrote a reply. Claro, ¿dónde nos vemos? The meeting was scheduled for that afternoon. Sofia arrived first at the small cafe where they used to spend hours together, laughing and talking about everything. She couldn't avoid the knot in her stomach while waiting. Time seemed to have stopped in that place, but, at the same time, everything felt so different. The memories of the past were vivid, and the pain of the farewell still present indeed, like an invisible scar that would never disappear. Suddenly, the cafe door opened. Gabriel appeared in the doorway, so familiar and yet so distant. His gaze met Sofia's. At that instant, and it was as if time went backward for a moment, only to give way to everything that had remained unresolved. Hello, Sofia. His voice was soft but laden with unspoken emotions. The Lale smiled timidly, unable to say anything at that moment. Everything that had happened, the tears, the unanswered questions, everything had been frozen in her heart. But what she felt not, it was only pain. There was a strange mixture of resentment, love, and fear. Hello, Gabriel, he finally replied, trying to make his voice sound calm although his heart was beating strongly. They sat down face to face, and for a few minutes, neither of them said anything. The coffee became insignificant and the murmur of the other tables faded. Gabriel's gaze remained fixed on her, calm. If I tried to read something on his face, something he already knew. I owe you an explanation, Gabriel said suddenly, breaking the silence. Sofia looked at him, her eyes full of questions. She still did not dare. They were about to leave. You don't have to explain anything to me, she replied, a little harsher than she had intended. Yes, I do, he insisted. I did everything wrong, Sofia. I left you without telling you why. And I time without wanting to. Sofia observed him in silence. There were so many things she wanted to ask him, so many words she wanted to shout at him, but something in the sincerity of his voice stopped her. It wasn't the Gabriel of Tess. It had changed, and despite the pain it made her feel a glimmer of hope. Perhaps not all was lost. Why did you do it? She asked, finally. Gabriel looked down. As I said, the answer was too difficult to say. Because I was afraid, he admitted in a low voice. I was afraid of losing myself in something I didn't know how to handle. I was afraid that everything that what we dreamed of together fell apart and couldn't be what you expected of me. So, instead of facing that, I simply walked away. Sofia looked at him with eyes full of sadness. How could someone so close to his heart make such a cruel decision without even telling him why? Doubt and fear had always been greater than trust, and Gabriel had chosen to escape. And now what, Gabriel? Sofia asked, her voice broken with emotion. I don't know, but what I do know is that I love you, Sofia. And although I can't erase it, nor erase what I did to you, I want to try to make amends. I don't ask you to forget it, but I want to be part of your life in some way, however small. Gabriel's gaze was sincere, but also full of pain, as if he realized that the Alabras could no longer return what they once had. The magic had faded, but something stronger than love remained: regret and the desire for redemption. Sofia closed her eyes. One moment, feeling how the pain of the years accumulated in his chest. He knew that Gabriel's words were sincere, but he also knew that life did not always give second chances. Without embargo, he couldn't help but think that sometimes the heart, even when wounded, always seeks a way to heal. I love you, Gabriel. I will always love you. But I don't know if I can trust again. I don't know if I can. I risk you hurting me again. The words hurt to say, but she knew she had to be honest, even if her soul still loved him. Gabriel looked at her with a deep sadness, but en bien con un entendimiento que solo los dos podían compartir. Sabía que el camino hacia la redención sería largo, y quizás nunca llegaran a ser lo que fueron. Pero por primera vez en mucho tiempo, seen also with an understanding that only the two of them could share, he knew that the path to redemption would be long, and perhaps they would never become what they were. But for the first time in a long time, without he said that what he had done, although irreversible, had been a lesson that both of them needed to learn. They rose in silence, and Gabriel embraced her one last time. It was not the embrace of two lovers, if not that of two people who had loved each other deeply, who had lost each other and, perhaps, in some corner of their hearts, still loved each other. "Goodbye, Sophia," Gabriel whispered, before letting go. Slowly. "Goodbye, Gabriel," she replied with a firm voice, although tears threatened to escape. And, at that moment, Sophia knew that love is not always eternal, but the lessons that yes, the scars, are part of who we are. Sometimes, the only thing we can do is let go, even if the heart takes a little longer to accept the truth. And subscribe and comment.